We all have a dark side. A part of ourselves that, well, we don't quite understand. It's like this shadow, living deep within the very architecture of who we are. But here's a thought. What if the truly dangerous parts aren't the ones we keep hidden? What if they're the ones we proudly show off to the world?
Just think about it for a second. That ambition that gets you all the praise, that kindness that makes everyone love you, that strength that people see as leadership. What if all of it, every single part, is just a mask, a cover for something much, much darker? And you know what? Society eats this stuff up. We celebrate the go-getter, the one who keeps the peace, the person who's always in control. But in doing that, we completely miss the toxic reality that's festering right beneath the surface. So today, we're going to peel back that mask.
Let's start with a big one, a trait that almost everyone thinks is a virtue. I'm talking about that relentless, non-stop drive to be perfect, the one that our whole hustle and grind culture absolutely glorifies.
So on the outside, yeah, you look like the ultimate go-getter. You're meticulous, you're driven, but that mask of diligence, it's hiding a really, really self-destructive pattern. See, a perfectionist isn't actually driven by a desire for excellence. Not really. They're driven by a deep, paralyzing terror of failure. And that fear, it doesn't make your work better. Oh no, it often leads to the exact opposite. Complete paralysis, crippling anxiety, the inability to even start anything at all.
And the physical price you pay for this? It's staggering. I mean, the World Health Organization has found that this exact kind of overwork that we praise so much, it's a literal killer. It's directly linked to things like stroke and heart disease. And that's just your body. Mentally, all that pressure just breeds chronic procrastination. We're talking something that affects up to a quarter of all adults. Your body and your mind, they're running on fumes, speeding towards a total system failure that you're way too busy chasing perfection to even see coming.
All right, next up, let's talk about the people pleaser. You know the type, the person who will do anything to avoid a fight. The one who seems so selfless, so kind, always agreeable.
And that mask of harmony, it's really seductive, isn't it? It makes you feel needed, indispensable to everyone around you. But that constant self-sacrifice, it's like a slow-acting poison. Because in your mission to make everyone else happy, you start to erase yourself. Your own needs, your own voice, they just disappear. Until one day, you look in the mirror and your identity is, well, it's just a reflection of what everyone else wants. You've literally become a ghost in your own life.
There's actually a name for this pattern. It's called codependency, and it's the breeding ground for relationships that are just completely unbalanced and emotionally destructive. I mean, think about it. That friend who always drops everything to help someone else out. Or the partner who you realize has never once told you what they actually want. When you bury your own pain and your own fear just to serve somebody else, you stop being a partner. You just become a function, an object really there to fill a need at the total expense of yourself. Okay, let's shift gears. Now let's examine the natural leader, the decisive one, the person who always has to take charge, the one with that deep, unshakable need to be in control. And sure, we admire strength, we admire leadership, but when that need for control becomes absolute, it's not strength anymore. It reveals itself for what it is, a deep, profound arrogance, a core belief that you, and only you, can do things the right way. That's not empowerment. It's a cage built out of fear and insecurity. And you're not just in it alone, you're locking everyone else in there with you.
And here's the thing about cages. People don't stay in them forever. That suffocating grip you have, it completely destroys the very relationships you're trying so desperately to manage. It does nothing but breed resentment, and in the end, it guarantees the one thing you're most afraid of: separation, estrangement, profound, absolute loss.
Now, some anger doesn't explode. It doesn't shout. It seeps like a poison. This is the world of the passive-aggressive. It's where all those negative feelings are never ever dealt with head-on. Instead, they just leak out in these indirect, incredibly toxic ways.
On the surface, they seem totally agreeable, super easygoing. They'll say yes right to your face. But then, their actions tell a completely different story. And this gap, this disconnect between what they say and what they do, it's a strategy. It might be unconscious, but it's still a strategy. It's hostility wearing the mask of harmony. It's stubborn, deep resistance hiding behind a smile. And this poison, it works slowly. So slowly you might not even notice at first. Tasks just get delayed forever.
Sarcasm becomes their main way of talking. There's this heavy, sullen mood that just hangs in the air. And the worst part? When you finally confront them, they deny everything. They make you feel like you're the crazy one, making you question your own reality. This kind of behavior makes real communication totally impossible. It just eats away at trust until there's absolutely nothing left but bitterness.
And that brings us to our final section. We've arrived at the dark core, a cluster of 3 malevolent traits that, well, they complete our list of 7. And these 3 are so intertwined, so connected, that the researchers who identified them, Delroy Paulhus and Kevin Williams, they gave them one single very ominous name.
They called it the Dark Triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Now, they're each distinct, for sure, but they are all tied together by one common chilling thread: a profound, almost absolute lack of empathy, a deep, cold callousness that lets them manipulate, exploit, and hurt other people without a single shred of remorse.
So, let's break it down. The narcissist, they're all about promoting their own ego. They'll viciously attack any hint of criticism just to protect this incredibly fragile sense of self. Then you have the Machiavellian. This is the master manipulator, the expert in deceit, using people for nothing more than their own personal gain. But it's the third one, the psychopath. That's the most dangerous of the bunch. This one is marked by a terrifying impulsivity, a total lack of remorse, and this superficial charm that's just a mask for their truly predatory nature.
You know, it would be a lot easier to just write these people off as monsters, right? As something completely different from you and me. But the truth is far more disturbing than that. Because these traits, they aren't some alien thing. They exist on a spectrum, a shadow that lies dormant, to some degree at least, inside all of us.
So the real question isn't whether these shadows exist inside you. The question is, how much of your light are you going to let them consume? So, now that you've stared down into the abyss, tell me, what did you see staring back?